Well, hello, everybody. Happy Veterans Day. Hope everybody's had a great day. A special shout out and acknowledgments and thanks to all the veterans out there for your service, for everything that you sacrificed for each and every one of us. A big shout out and memory dedication today to my grandfather, John Bankford, who is definitely one of my biggest heroes in my life. Papa, I love you. Thank you so much. And, my name is Jeff Street. I teach people how to make money from home online. And today I want to talk to you about how you can grow yourself being part of a mastermind group. Now, here's why a mastermind group is so important, because the people you hang around with is who you become. So you want to surround yourself with the right people, because as you surround yourself with the right people, you start to think like them. And as you start to think like them, you start to get the results that they get. So obviously, if you're surrounding yourself with the wrong people, you start to think like them, which is equally as bad. So I want to give a big thank you today to my good friend Alejandra Kalman, who just started a mastermind group that my wife and I are a part of, a personal growth, self-development group. Started it last week, and we're going to do several weeks in a row meeting together, and we're going through a personal growth, self-development exercise where we're listening to an audio, going through a workbook, and then getting together for an hour every single week just to talk about what we're all learning from it. And one of the most amazing insights that I've had is some of the biggest takeaways that you get from it isn't what you got when you read the book and did the notebook, the workbook yourself. It's hearing other people's experience. See, that's how we grow sometimes the best, is through the experiences of other people. But I just wanted to read everybody just a couple of notes that I took from our very powerful mastermind call, today. The first thing is that people often justify not wanting something because they didn't think that they could get it. Meaning, people sometimes set out to go out and get something. They've got a big desire, and then they decide for whatever reason that they can't get it, so they justify why they don't want it anymore just because they don't think that they can get it. But, one of the biggest takeaways that I got from this audio that we were listening to just really talked about perspective, the way that we look at things, and it talked about, one of the wars and how the war was ending. And how all of a sudden, the battle, the ships, all the boats, something that was so important, for the war, that as soon as the war ended, there was no more need for the ships. People literally couldn't give away the ships. They were paying the ships to take them, from them, because there was going to be no use for them. But Mr. Aristotle Onassis, he took a look at what was going on. And here's what he saw. For the first time after the war, Americans were coming back to America, eating pizza, something they learned about in Italy. And all of a sudden, a global economy was created, and how not only did he believe that, the ship business was going to be even bigger than it was before, that it was going to be the same as it was before the war, but it was going to even be bigger because so many people now were wanting things from different areas like Germany and Italy and all these different areas. So Mr. Aristotle Onassis, he started investing in these ships when other people were trying to give them away for free. And 3 years later, he was the richest person in the world. See, there's an old Chinese proverb, and here's what it says. Where there is a tragedy, there is opportunity. Every adversity has a seed of a greater benefit. And on the mastermind group, they talked about the power of our subconscious mind and how listening to things as we go to sleep, listening is something positive, that even though our body is sleeping, our subconscious mind never falls asleep, and how we're learning while we're actually sleeping. And you can get up just in a positive mood because of something that you heard when you were actually physically sleeping. He talks about how when your attitude is right, the facts don't matter. And some people would debate that, but what he talked about is, what we talked about on the call today is how, facts really are just somebody else's opinion. And if your attitude is right, somebody else's opinion definitely doesn't matter. We talked on the call today about how to get into an alpha state of mind, and using, Baroque, classical music to listen to in the background when you're learning, and how that can increase your learning. We talked about today playing back a video on YouTube and how you can watch it in double the speed, so you can condense time frames and get the same information in half the time. One of the individuals that has a successful coaching program, a successful coaching business, talked about how they ask all their clients when they coach them, who do you want to serve? And when the client talks about who they want to serve, what they're doing for, then they can become present to their why. And remember, the bigger your why, the greater that the bigger that you try. The bigger your why, the bigger that you try. But one of the things that was amazing, and just listening to some incredible people, really just be very real, allowing themselves to be vulnerable and talking about times in their life where they felt stuck. They knew that they needed to do something, but they thought so much about it that they paralyzed themselves. Some of us have been in analysis paralysis before, and they thought so much before they had to do something, even though they knew they had to do it, that it stopped them from actually doing it. But all of a sudden, when they just did it, some of the great things that happen out of action. And remember, action is the antidote of fear. And one of the best sayings that I heard all day today was, think less and do more. As a matter of fact, if you're watching right now, drop a comment that says, think less. Drop a comment that says, do more. Again, think less, do more. If you thought that you got some value out of the message here today, hit the share button. Find yourself a mastermind group. Find yourself some great people that you can, be around, that you can grow together. Because again, sometimes it's somebody else's takeaway that's going to be even more powerful for you than the takeaway that you had yourself. Remember, the law of the universe is we're either growing or we're dying. We're either rotting or we're ripening. So find yourself some positive people that you can spend some time with, that you can grow together with, that you can watch yourself grow as leaders and as business professionals. Julie Floyd, yes, think less and do more. So again, guys, my name is Jeff Street. I teach people how to make money from home online. Happy Veterans Day again to everybody. Thank you again so much for all the heroes, out there. And again, big special acknowledgments to the memory of my grandfather, my hero, Mr. John Bangford. So Papa, I love you. This one's for you. Think less and do more, everybody. And that was something my grandfather was definitely always good at getting me to do. Don't just think about it, just do it. So God bless everybody. Have a great night, and I look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow.